Hey everybody, how's it going? Looks like we got quite a few people. Dex, Arturo, Nikki, Dan, Merle, Al, Everett, Don, Donald, Sergio, Brian, Francois, Patrick, Sledge, how's it going, my man? Gary, Larry, Gary and Larry. I love it, man. I love I know y'all don't do it on purpose because there's no possible way, but it's like Don and Donald said it right next to each other, then Gary and Larry, and Pat, Alan, Barbara, Craig, David, Kimberly, my lovely wife, Kevin, Alan. Good morning, everybody. If you want to chat with me like these fine folks, the ghost monster right here, you'll have to click the button right down here. There's a subscribe button, little green overlay. Click that button, and a few seconds later, you can be on the live stream chatting with me and all these other fine folks, asking me questions, whatever it might be. Whew, what a doozy. Made a lower low. We got a lower low close on Friday on the daily chart. Pop that up here and look at it. Apparently, all my charts decided not to load up all of a sudden. Awesome. So right here, look, we got this. Somebody messaged me on Slack. Cool. Right there, that close was lower than the close right there from the third. So we actually got a nominal lower close just on the simplified daily close chart. So where does that leave us? Well, this little guy moves over like this. And it's looking like we might actually open a little lower on ES. ES came up shy of getting a lower low when we look at the actual candle chart right over here. And I need to switch to the morning monster list. And yes, right there, we actually got a lower low this morning. We didn't have one till just a few minutes ago. So finally, this thing can be finished up. You have to excuse my big coloring here. So right there we go. This thing may push one more low. We may see this push down to that 4160 area. Entirely possible at this point. That would not be out of the realm of what I expect to happen. Right there. Go from that high, or that low to that high. My tool not working right. Or my clicker not clicking right. There we go. So we could see an extension to 4190 just based on the market roadmap pattern. We bounced up. You know, this would be like the 4-hour pattern probably. Yep. 4-hour bounced up. It looks like that one was a little higher. And pushed down. That extension 4190, possibly 4111, and the bigger pattern 4160 that I've been calling for a while. So there you go. That's the kind of support levels we may see. At this point, it's going to be right at 4,200 when that opens on S&P. So we'll see where we get to here. All right, we shall see. We shall see. Right there you go. Can we find support right where we are? You betcha. That'd be like a double bottom situation, and we can take off. So very common that we see double bottoms, right? Very, very common. So know when you're wrong, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And we got stuff moving today. So let's jump back over and do the disclaimer. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell anything, financial instrument or otherwise. Like, don't buy stocks, don't buy cryptos, don't buy options, don't buy futures, don't buy Forex, don't buy any of that crap, don't sell it, don't buy stuff, subscriptions from gurus that you don't trust. Look, this industry is filled with snake oil salesmen, and even the financial advisors, a lot of times full of complete crap. But if you desire personal financial advice, which is not what I do, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor to give you financial advice based on your financial situation. Man, oh man. The calendar And it jumped to the wrong week here. There we go. So today, pretty benign. Nothing really crapping. Nothing happening. Tomorrow, we'll get some flash manufacturing and services PMI after the market opens. Nothing really hitting before. Wednesday, we get some new home sales. Then we have all these things like Powell speaking. We get some Bank of Canada stuff. We can see some reaction to that maybe. Then on Thursday, we're getting the advanced GDP, unemployment claims. This stuff might move the market right here, the GDP. And then on Friday, we're getting the PCE right there, personal incomes and personal spendings and consumer sentiment all on Friday. So those could be market movers. Now, probably the bigger thing for the week is right here. This is a huge earnings week. And my thing is all glitched out. That's cool. Try it. No. Okay, it looks totally different on that monitor than it does on this monitor. It's so cool. Love that. Won't refresh, won't do anything here. That's cool. I guess that browser is jammed up. Anyway, so there you go. We got Philips this morning. We got this afternoon, we got Cliffs, Calix, Cadence, Logitech, Medpace, Alexandria, Crown, Helix, Berkeley, PCA. Maybe, maybe not. You've heard of any of those. Cleveland Cliffs, for sure. That's been a market mover. Coca-Cola in the morning, Verizon in the morning, GE in the morning, RTX in the morning, Raytheon, 3M in the morning, ADM in the morning, Spotify in the morning, which we've been watching Spotify, and then GM also all in the morning, tomorrow morning. So that could be some market movers. Then tomorrow afternoon, during 30 Minutes of Awesome, we've got Microsoft, Alphabet, Snap, Visa, Teladoc. I mean, these are some serious movers here. Then before we even get to the next open, we've got Boeing, Thermo Fisher, T-Mobile, Hilton, ADP, General Dynamics down here. So we're getting some defense contractors, getting more big tech. We're getting into the heart of Q3 earnings here. So these are going to be some market movers. Then on Wednesday after the close, Meta, IBM, ServiceNow, Align, O'Reilly's. That'd be interesting. Nally and Quantum Scope. And then before we open on Thursday, we're getting Royal Caribbean, UPS, Hershey's, Alteria, Southwest, Northrop Grumman, Valero, Tractor Supply, Merck. I mean, we're going to get a broad swath of the economy here. And then big name on here, Amazon. So the big ones to watch this week: Microsoft, Alphabet, Amazon, and then of course, like Visa gives you a pulse on what's happening with that kind of financial market. You know, what's their transaction volume looking like? Of course, that's not telling us the future. It's kind of telling us the past, but they do kind of tell us what they expect for the future. So it'd be interesting. We're getting all that economic news late in the week as we look down Intel and Amazon, Ford coming in here. So thinking GM and Ford not gonna be too bueno. No bueno. I mean, interest rates are high, so that's like ding one against cars, and they have the strike, of course. That's like ding two against big auto. So we'll see what happens. Could be an interesting week this week. Could be. Now we could find the bottom here. Let's actually talk about some charts and where we're going. So ES, when we look at it on the daily chart here, I mean, monster tear coming into this correction coming up, not making a higher high, and then pullback. And we've been at the pullback since July. Now, zooming on up. We have a support zone right where we're at, right there. And this looks like it could be finished up here at any point. This probably aligns with the 3-day chart. I think it is. Yeah. We're probably going to touch this 3-day. Probably going to touch the 3-day market roadmap line. Comes in right there where that consolidation was back in May. So we took back the whole summer here at this point. There was no summer rally. Crazy enough. Find support here. Rally out. We could have a pretty strong end of the year. So that's what we got right now. All these levels I've been kind of warning about coming into play. S5FI did the double dip. May get a little marginal lower low. I don't expect this to go back in the single digits, but it could if we continue down the trash chute. I mean, down the dumpster fire of the market. This was the double dip I warned about way back when we were at the top. And, you know, I kind of warned that we may drop in here, pop up, get everybody kind of bullish, and then rip down again. I thought we'd make a higher low, but we're making a lower low, freaking everybody out. This is exactly the market action that I thought we would see when we were back up here in like August, even July. I was kind of warning everybody that we may see this kind of sell-off that freaks everybody out, like gets you really uneasy. I mean, and the mainstream media is really great at sowing the fear, the uncertainty, the doubt, getting you all wrapped up. I mean, yeah, wars are bad, but it's not like this is destroying the world at this point. I mean, it could, but it's a relatively limited skirmish at this point. I mean, yeah, lots of bad stuff, but how is this burning down our entire economy? All right, let's keep it in perspective here. When they say traders did X, Y, and Z, did you make any decisions based on X, Y, and Z? If you didn't, I'm highly suspect on those traders are doing things according to whatever it is, whether it be higher inflation, more Fed cuts, war, whatever it is. All right. I think it's full of crap. Anyway, NQ. That's not the chart to look at. NQ. Let's go back over there. NQ. Look at this. We're finally about to hit that gap fill. I mentioned a while back that we may not be able to go higher until we get the gap fill. We tried once, we tried twice. We even tried, 3 times my lady, it looks like. Tried once, twice, 3 times my lady, and right back down here for the gap fill. Now, what we need, this is very clear on NQ, what we need to see is a breakout above that line to confirm we're going up higher. Lower high, lower high, lower high. And kind of double tapped right there, or triple tap, whatever. And it's very clear on the QQQ chart too. Like we're probably going to touch it. Pre-market, getting close. Yeah, 349, just a little dip in there. Touch that roadmap line, aligns the S&P with the QQQ, and this sucker can all be wrapped up. Here comes the market. Now, Russell bleeding off on down, probably going to get that 1,639 area right down there. That's what it looks like. Where we're heading, right down in there. I drew that arrow all the way back in the summer, and looks like we're about to get there. And alerts firing off on S&P, oil. Probably, if I was a betting man, MA. Let's go look at MA real quick. Below the roadmap line. I was waiting for that to hit. I have to come back to that later. If I was a betting man, I mean, this is kind of like betting, glorified gambling all the time. Oil probably going to come back to the roadmap line at this point. There's a lot of shorting going on. I've been kind of, after this chopping around, I've been a little neutral I think we're going to come back down, probably make a lower low, or at least hit the roadmap line. At this point, that's what we probably need to do to clear this up, clear up this correction, and get us where we can go higher again. Gold has been strong, my friends, but opening a little lower this morning. To be expected, having a little trouble breaking through that prior high right over there. At this point, we're going to flip this around, change up the chart a little bit. We're done with that correction down there for now. Done with all that. We need to break above this high, that 618 level, and then it's game on for going on up, probably in the 2100, if not the 2200 area. This needs to be brought all the way over here. We're sitting right on the 618. Need to break above it. We'll be heading on up 2150, possibly 2250. Bitcoin continues the rally over the weekend. Beautiful. We're probably on a path to go to 36,000. There's some resistance just above the prior high, right around 30, 33-ish. And then 36 up here would be the target. Yeah, see this bounce target right there. We came up just a little shy, getting all the way down there. So if we pull this up to the actual low, that puts us a target right up here at 33, and then the extension for 36. You know what? All the miners aren't participating. We'll talk about that here in a minute. At least not so far. I mean, we're right near these June, July highs that we had on crypto, on Bitcoin in particular. We're right in the vicinity. I mean, we're right there. But when you look at like Mara, crypto miner Mara, gonna load. Oh, market's gonna be slow. Look, we were all the way up here. We're sitting down here. So what's going on? I mean, same on MSTR. We're up here. We're hanging out down here. Same on Riot. We were up here. We're hanging out down here. There's going to be huge opportunity when these suckers finally catch up. BTBT even. So even HUT, it's probably doing a reverse split merger thing. Hanging out at the lows, even though we're up here in this vicinity on Bitcoin. So watch for this thing to turn and burn. All of these are likely to catch up if Bitcoin stays up for very long, which it looks like it's going to. Coin here, continuing that down drift down, and that one also. We were up here, 100, 105, and we're hanging out right down here at 75. I'm getting alerts like crazy right now. Everything busting down. All right. BTX. That one's actually popping a little bit. That's a 2x Bitcoin ETF. And then BITO, BITO, popping up a little bit. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Right there. That one's not, I mean, that one's closer to aligned with the July highs than anything else. But that's also a Bitcoin futures ETF right there. So looking for that one to break out and go higher at this point. Those levels would be, grab the fib line, run from the high down to the low. And we're looking for 1750, possibly 1890 on this next move. And then I still maintain that we're due for a move up to this 20 to 22 area on BITO. Alrighty. There's not a lot on the list today. There just wasn't a lot moving. So TGH, look at that pop. I mean, is that a buyout? I don't know. Way up above the 1618. Probably going to get a retrace unless it's a buyout of some sort. Don't see it at the moment. I'm sure somebody can tell me. There's a little fly in here. ESMT, easement, engage smart. Just chopping in the range. I'm going to move this down here where I usually grab it. right there. That range was set back here in December up through February. We've just been hanging out ever since. Trying to break above today. That little pop up. We'll see. If it slams right back down, be careful. We do have a little bit more. Oh, look at that. Although going back a little bit further. And now we're just right at the top of the box. That's definitely been consolidating for almost 2 years now. Can it break out of that? I'm not so sure. We go back just a little bit further. And you got a little bit bigger range. And that's all just consolidation at the lows. That's not extremely bullish at this point. We IPO'd up here and plummeted down. Elf Beauty stuck on the roadmap line at this point. Gonna have to get back above that 618 around 124 to go on an extension higher. 152, 167. Let's see, CRV. This is probably not the correct one since it's. Yeah, I don't even see a CRV. I'm not sure what list that came off of. Wasn't gonna be the right one. FMC. Ouch. Going down in a blaze of glory. Man. That's back to COVID lows right there. Can it hold it? I don't know. Or does it do an extension? Which low to the high? Extension would be 31. Well, 32. Let's go on the conservative side there. RVMD. Man. That one looks pretty gnarly too. Oh, I see what the problem is. Hold on. I know what the problem is. Why it keeps glitching out here. This looks like it could go down to 850. Say all the words. My mind's going faster than my mouth. OIH. That looks like it wants to touch the roadmap line before we go higher. That was the 1272. Dipping back, popping up. That's 3 little high downtrend thing going right now. If we're going to go higher, we'll break above that and maybe go up to 388. But otherwise, we may be headed back down here to a 320 area, right around there on OIH. Alrighty. OKTA, right back to the lows on, so they provide website security credential, like logins, right? That's what they do. They got hacked. They announced a hack of their login credentials on their own, in their own system. So big chart down and really just hanging out in the box. Right there. Just back down to the lows. We get up near the highs, you can expect it to go down to the lows until we break out or break down and confirm it. So there you go. Right back to lows, probably head back up to the highs, and we'll see what happens next. Unless we get a breakdown. CRM, almost to the target, baby. Right down there, 192, and an extension to 182. CVX, Chevron, back to the roadmap line. Can we find support and go higher? I don't know. If oil goes a little lower, this may drift down with it, but it doesn't have to. All right, remember that oil producers are not oil. It's like gold miners are not gold, and crypto miners are not crypto. So this can go higher while oil goes lower. Just keep it in mind. CTVA continuing the downward descent. We didn't do any of that stuff from before. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Where might she go? Looks like support's going to be in this area right here. Possibly up to that high. So 40 down to 45, 30 to 45 area. Should find support. Maybe right where we did this consolidation over here. Probably going to drop on down. And then PHG announcing earnings this morning. And don't have the numbers yet. Not looking so great on Philips. Flushing down the toilet here. So, alrighty. Well, that's what we got so far. Remember, there, see, it's working again. Working now. So when I turned off the other thing, it fixed everything. So Philips, PHG right there. A slew of banks didn't really make any big, didn't make the list. So looks like tonight we're going to start picking up, tonight and tomorrow morning, picking up some interesting ones. Spotify ought to be interesting. Let's take a look at Coke and Spotify. Since I won't be live again before that happens. Coke, that's pretty bearish. That's a failed head and shoulders pattern. Dang, I am getting alerts like crazy. That was Tesla. It's all right. Now, remove that, that. This guy. Oh man, we got close. Got into the vicinity. Oh, here's one. Check this out. This might freak you out a little bit. Looky here. Oh, shoulder, head, shoulder. Breaking the neckline. Lucky. Here comes the chart pattern. I could take it down to 320. Said lots of things about it, but there you go. Sometimes it's as simple as that. That would be like a 36% off the highs. Be careful out there. Count you save maybe your own. Let's see. What else you want to look at? Anything for RTX? Let's see what earnings may be. That looks pretty bearish. Let's see. 3M. Check that one out. That looks pretty bearish. Not a lot of positive out here today. That one can extend down to 79. RTX. US Steel is not announcing earnings. We can go back to lows there. Spotify. Kind of glad I closed that one out. When I did, came on down to the roadmap line again. This one could be a bullish setup here. This, I may get back into something. That's a measured bounce. This could launch off. This might be worth getting back into like a 165 call out to December, maybe January. That might. That looks pretty good. If I do something, I'll let you know in Discord. But that's pretty interesting there. Hilton's coming up later. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Otherwise, yeah. So bias for the day. Looking for this bottom. Looking for this 4160 to hold. Look at that 4160 area to hold. That's what I'm expecting. Dip down to this 4160 area. Can we hold it? That's the big question. If we do, give me game on to going higher. So looking for this to hunt the bottom. Looking for an NQ to fill that gap. And it's really close now. Really close. So there you go. That's the kind of bias for the day. Oh man, it spiked down so freaking close. There you go. I'll be in Discord if you want to come join me. Link is in the description. It's like $5 for, I mean, 3 months for $5, and then you can upgrade to a year for like $25 or something like that. A total $25. And I'll be back with you again tomorrow. Remember, I have 30 Minutes of Awesome where I do requests for 30 minutes on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. And I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, it's not being wrong that costs you the money. It's staying wrong. So know when you're wrong. Close your trades. Close your losers. Book your winners.